There is a power in silence that few understand. Most people believe that in order to achieve they must speak, push, and strive. But this is not the way. The greatest manifestations in life happen not through effort, but through stillness, through the quiet conviction that what you seek is already on its way. You do not need to announce your desires to the world. You do not need validation from others. Everything you long for is already moving toward you the moment you accept it within. The only thing that can delay it is your own doubt, your own restless need to force things into place. When a seed is planted in the earth, it does not grow faster if you keep digging it up to check on it. It flourishes in darkness, in stillness, beneath the soil where no one sees. Your desires are the same. The moment you declare them to yourself and feel them as real, they take root in the unseen. But if you constantly seek reassurance, if you doubt, if you speak too soon, you disrupt their natural unfolding. You do not need to chase, beg, or plead. You only need to be, to assume in silence that it is already done. That wealth, that love, that peace you seek, it is already yours, the moment you claim it within. Stay silent, do not discuss it, do not allow the world to shape your vision. Hold your belief steadfastly as if it were a sacred treasure hidden in your heart. What belongs to you will find you not by force, but by the certainty of your quiet knowing. You do not need to manipulate reality because reality is already responding to you. It is shifting, rearranging, and aligning itself with your inner world. The only question is, are you still enough to allow it? Everything you desire is already seeking you. Stay silent, stay sure, and watch as everything comes to you naturally. Silence holds a power that few recognize. In a world that glorifies noise, movement, and constant striving, silence is often misunderstood as inaction, as if nothing is happening when all is still. But this is the greatest illusion. The most profound shifts do not occur in the chaos of external effort, but in the quiet depths of inner stillness. It is in this silence that true creation unfolds, where desires take form, and where the unseen becomes seen. Everything you seek begins in the invisible, in the realm beyond speech and action. When you speak too soon, when you seek external validation or rush to make things happen, you disrupt the natural order of manifestation. The moment you withdraw from the noise of the world and enter the stillness within, you align yourself with the creative force that governs all things. It is not through struggle that the seed grows into a tree, nor through force that the stars align. The same principle applies to your life. What is meant for you takes shape in the silence of your being, long before it materializes in the physical world. Consider how nature moves effortlessly. The river does not push to reach the ocean, it simply flows. The sun does not announce its arrival each morning, it simply rises. There is no need for explanation, no need for noise. Everything unfolds in perfect order because it follows an inherent intelligence, a silent knowing that governs its course. You too are a part of this same order. When you embrace silence, you move in harmony with the forces that create worlds. You allow what is yours to come to you naturally, without resistance, without struggle. But most people fear silence. They mistake stillness for stagnation. They believe that if they are not constantly taking action, speaking about their desires, or seeking external confirmation, nothing is happening. This is where they go wrong. The greatest transformations take place in the unseen. Just as a caterpillar undergoes its metamorphosis in the cocoon, hidden from view, your life is shifting and aligning itself in ways beyond your perception. The only thing required of you is trust. Trust in the unseen. Trust in the silence. When you truly understand this, you will no longer feel the need to explain yourself. You will no longer feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Instead, you will embody a quiet confidence, a deep inner knowing that what you desire is already yours. You will no longer be swayed by doubt or the opinions of others, for you will have built your foundation in something far greater, something unshakable, Silence does not mean doing nothing. It means doing the most important work of all. It means aligning your inner world so completely that the outer world must follow. It means withdrawing from the distractions that scatter your energy and focusing entirely on your inner state. Every great achievement, every profound manifestation begins in this space. Not in noise, not in frantic action, but in the quiet certainty of your own being. If you want love, do not chase it. Become it in silence, and it will find you. If you want success, do not beg for opportunities. Assume the feeling of success within, and the doors will open. If you want peace, do not seek it outside yourself. Dwell in the stillness of your own mind, and the world will reflect it back to you. This is the secret that the world does not teach. It tells you to work harder, to strive, to push against the current, but the truth is simpler. Withdraw from the noise, step into stillness, and know that everything is already in motion on your behalf. The moment you do, you will witness the effortless unfolding of all that you desire, not by force, not by struggle, but naturally, in perfect harmony, just as it was always meant to be. Desperation is the very thing that pushes away what you seek. The more you chase, the further your desires seem to slip from your grasp. It is not because you are unworthy or because life is unfair, but because desperation is rooted in lack, and lack can only create more lack. The moment you believe you must force an outcome, you affirm to yourself that it is not already yours. And in doing so, you create resistance to receiving it. There is an unseen order to everything in life, a natural flow that is always working on your behalf. But when you become desperate, when you attempt to control and manipulate how things unfold, you move against that flow. You interfere with the very forces that are trying to bring you what you desire. Imagine holding water in your hands. If you squeeze too tightly, it slips through your fingers. But if you remain open, the water stays with you. The same is true for the things you long for. They do not respond to force. They respond to alignment. When you desperately seek something, whether it be love, success, or financial abundance, you send out an energy of neediness, of fear that it may never come. This energy repels the very thing you want. But when you let go, when you trust that what is meant for you is already finding its way, you create space for it to arrive naturally. Letting go is not giving up. It is stepping into a state of knowing. It is understanding that what is truly yours cannot be lost. And what is not meant for you will never stay, no matter how tightly you hold onto it. Consider the times in your life when things have come effortlessly, when opportunities appeared as if out of nowhere, when love found you without struggle, when solutions arose just as you stopped searching for them. This was not a coincidence. It was the result of being in a state of ease, of trusting the process instead of resisting it. The universe moves in response to your inner state. If you believe you must fight for what you want, you create a reality where struggle is necessary. But if you accept that everything is already aligning for you, you shift into a reality where things come with ease. Letting go of desperation requires a shift in perception. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who must chase, start seeing yourself as someone who attracts. Instead of believing you must prove your worthiness, know that you are already worthy. Instead of fearing that your desires will never come, rest in the certainty that they are already on their way. The moment you stop needing something to happen, you remove the very barriers that were preventing it from manifesting. This does not mean you do nothing. It means you take inspired action from a place of confidence rather than fear. When you are desperate, every action you take is tainted with anxiety and doubt. But when you move from a place of knowing, your actions become powerful and effortless. You are no longer grasping, you are allowing. You are no longer chasing, you are receiving. There is a power greater than words, greater than effort, greater than anything the world teaches you to rely on. Inner conviction. This silent, unshakable knowing is what moves mountains, bends reality, and aligns circumstances in your favor. Most people believe they must explain themselves, convince others, or shout their desires into existence. But true creation happens in stillness. It is not what you say that shapes your life. It is what you believe with absolute certainty. When you possess deep inner conviction, there is no need to seek validation, no need to announce your desires or prove yourself. The moment you truly know something to be yours, without doubt, the world must arrange itself to reflect that assumption. This is the law of consciousness. Everything you experience is a reflection of your internal state. And when you silently embody the feeling of already having what you seek, life has no choice but to conform. Consider how nature operates, effortlessly, without declaration. The seed does not need to proclaim that it will become a tree. It simply knows its purpose and unfolds accordingly. The sun does not need to announce its rise. It simply appears. Likewise, your desires are already in motion the moment you assume their reality within yourself. The external world is nothing more than a mirror, reflecting back the convictions you hold within. But most people struggle because they do not trust the unseen. They look for immediate proof, they seek reassurance, and in doing so, they weaken their own power. A person who truly believes does not look outside themselves for confirmation. They do not question. They do not waver. They simply know. This knowing is what draws everything to them effortlessly. Think of the most confident, successful people you have ever encountered. Their power is not in their words, but in their energy. They do not need to tell you who they are. You can feel it. Their presence alone commands attention because they embody certainty. They have already assumed their success, their worth, their place in the world, and as a result, life molds itself around that belief. You must become this way with your desires. If you want love, embody the feeling of being deeply loved. If you want wealth, carry yourself as if abundance is already yours. If you want success, assume the role of a successful person in your mind long before the world acknowledges it. This is not about arrogance or pretending. It is about aligning with the reality you wish to experience. When you do, the external world will follow. The greatest mistake people make is thinking that words or excessive action will force things to happen. But force only creates resistance. The more you try to convince the world of something, the more you reveal your own doubt. If you truly believed, would you need to prove it? Would you need to announce it? Or would you simply walk in quiet confidence, knowing that what is yours cannot be denied? Silence is not inaction. It is the most powerful form of action. It is the quiet, invisible force that rearranges reality itself. When you stop explaining, stop seeking approval, and instead live in the knowing that your desire is already fulfilled, everything shifts. The people, opportunities, and circumstances necessary for its manifestation begin to appear effortlessly. This is the secret of true power. It does not come from noise. It comes from deep, unwavering certainty. Walk through life with the quiet confidence of someone who already has everything they desire. Speak less, believe more. Seek nothing outside yourself, for everything is already within you. And as you embody this truth, watch as life bends to match your inner conviction. The universe does not respond to effort, struggle, or desperation. It responds to faith. When you trust that what you seek is already on its way, you remove the barriers that have kept it at a distance. But when you attempt to force things into existence, you create resistance, making it harder for what is already meant for you to arrive. The key is to remain silent and unwavering in your belief, for it is this inner certainty that moves the unseen forces in your favor. Most people misunderstand the nature of creation. They believe they must work harder, push more, and chase after their desires with relentless effort. But force only leads to frustration. The more you push, the more reality pushes back. The more you chase, the more your desires seem to slip away. This is because force is rooted in doubt, and doubt only creates delay. Faith, however, is effortless. It does not struggle, it does not chase. It simply knows. And it is this knowing that brings things to you with ease. Think of how life flows naturally. The seasons change without effort, the sun rises and sets without struggle. A tree does not force itself to grow. It simply follows its nature, trusting in the process. The same principle applies to you. When you plant the seed of a desire in your mind and water it with faith, it must grow. But if you dig it up every day to check its progress, you interfere with the process, delaying the very thing you wish to see. Faith is not passive. It is the most powerful force in existence. It is the silent command that reshapes reality to match your inner state. When you believe without doubt, you create a direct path for your desire to reach you. But when you question, when you worry, when you look for signs of progress, you introduce resistance, slowing everything down. The universe is always listening, always responding to your dominant state of being. If you radiate certainty, it brings you what you expect. If you radiate doubt, it mirrors that back to you as well. Silence is the secret. Not silence in the sense of saying nothing, but silence in the sense of being undisturbed, unshaken by appearances. The moment you start explaining yourself, justifying your desires, or seeking reassurance from the outside world, you reveal that you do not fully trust. But when you remain composed, when you hold your belief without needing external validation, you send a signal of absolute confidence, and the universe responds to confidence. You may have noticed that the things you receive effortlessly are often the things you care the least about. This is because you hold no resistance toward them. You do not overthink them. You do not question whether they will come. You simply expect them, and they do. But for the things you deeply desire, you introduce hesitation, fear, and impatience. This is what slows the manifestation. The solution is to treat all desires with the same ease. Assume that what you want is already making its way to you, just as naturally as the air you breathe. Let go of the need to force results. Trust the timing of your life. If something is truly meant for you, no amount of resistance can keep it away. And if it is not, no amount of force will make it stay. Your only task is to align yourself with the knowing that what is yours is inevitable. Do not chase, attract, do not beg, assume, and do not doubt, believe. Remain silent in your conviction. Walk as if your desires are already fulfilled. Trust that what you seek is seeking you. And when you do, you will watch in amazement as everything falls into place, not through struggle, but through the effortless power of faith. Silence is not just a practice. It is a shield. It protects your vision from the doubts of the world, from the skepticism of others, and from the wavering tendencies of your own mind. When you keep your desires sacred, holding them in quiet confidence rather than announcing them prematurely, you allow them to grow undisturbed. The moment you speak too soon, you open the door to interference, inviting opinions, disbelief, and energies that can weaken your conviction. What is planted in secrecy flourishes in strength. Most people do not realize how fragile a newly conceived desire can be. When an idea is first born within you, it exists in its purest form, full of possibility, untainted by external doubts. But the moment you share it, you expose it to the limiting beliefs of others. You invite questions, skepticism, and unsolicited advice that can create uncertainty in your own mind. Even well-meaning people who may not fully understand the depth of your vision can unknowingly plant seeds of doubt. And once doubt enters, manifestation slows. There is a reason why the most powerful transformations happen in silence. Nature moves in secrecy. Seeds sprout beneath the soil before breaking the surface. A baby forms in the womb long before the world sees it. And the greatest shifts in consciousness occur within before they reflect outward. Your desires follow the same process. They need time to develop, to solidify within your consciousness before they can take shape in the external world. If you speak too soon, you disrupt their natural unfolding. Silence allows you to remain unwavering. The fewer voices involved in your vision, the stronger your belief remains. When you keep your desires to yourself, you do not have to defend them, explain them, or prove them to anyone. You simply nurture them in quiet confidence, allowing them to take root deeply within you. And when something is deeply rooted, It cannot be shaken by the doubts of the world. Think of the most successful, influential people. They do not announce their every move before it happens. They move in silence, working in the unseen until their results speak for them. The world only sees the finished manifestation, not the quiet conviction that created it. This is how you must operate, with the understanding that your desires are sacred and do not need external validation. Your words carry power, and where you direct them matters. When you speak of something prematurely, you scatter your energy, diffusing the concentrated belief that fuels your manifestation. But when you hold your vision in silence, you build momentum, strengthening its presence within you. It is this inner certainty that brings results, not the need to convince others of what is coming. Observe how the things you have kept to yourself have often unfolded more smoothly than those you have spoken about. This is because silence keeps you in alignment, free from external influence. The moment you share, you risk introducing conflicting energies, doubts, envy, or even unconscious resistance from those around you. But when you remain silent, your vision is protected. This does not mean you should live in secrecy out of fear, but rather out of wisdom. Choose carefully what you share and with whom. Not everyone is capable of holding the same belief in your vision as you do. Some will project their own limitations onto you, not out of malice, but simply because they cannot see what you see. And if you are not strong in your conviction, their doubts can become your own. Move in silence. Let your manifestations take form without interference. Nurture your desires as you would a delicate flame, shielding them from the winds of doubt. Trust that what is meant for you does not need outside confirmation. It only needs your unwavering belief. And when the time is right, the world will see the results. But by then, your conviction will be so strong that nothing can shake it. Keep your vision sacred. Let silence be your strength. And watch as everything unfolds effortlessly before you. Your reality is not shaped by the external world. It is a reflection of your internal state. Everything you experience, everything you see is a mirror of what is happening within you. The moment you shift internally, your outer world must conform. Transformation does not begin with action, effort, or force. It begins in the unseen. It begins in the quiet moments when you decide to think differently, believe differently, and see yourself in a new way. Most people live reactively, believing that they must change their circumstances in order to feel different. They try to fix the outside world without realizing that the true cause of their experience lies within. They chase opportunities, force relationships, and exhaust themselves trying to mold the external world to their liking, but nothing seems to work. The reason is simple. They are trying to rearrange the mirror instead of changing the reflection. A mirror does not create the image. It only reflects it. If you do not like what you see, you do not reach out and try to change the reflection. You adjust yourself. The same is true for your life. The world is simply a reflection of your dominant assumptions, beliefs, and inner state. The moment you shift inwardly, the outer world must shift to match. Transformation is not about forcing change. It is about becoming it. The moment you assume something to be true within yourself, the world begins rearranging itself to make that truth visible. But this process is often invisible at first. Just because you do not see instant results does not mean nothing is happening. A seed does not sprout the moment it is planted. There is a period of unseen growth where roots form beneath the surface. This is where most people give up when they do not see evidence right away. They assume nothing is working and they revert back to their old ways. But those who understand how reality works remain still. They trust the process. They do not need instant validation because they know that transformation is inevitable. When you hold your inner shift with unwavering belief, the world has no choice but to align with it. The key is to remain silent in your conviction. Do not speak against your desire. Do not look for signs of progress with doubt in your heart. Do not allow the outside world to shake your inner state. If you have truly shifted within, then it is done. The rest is simply a matter of time. Have you ever noticed how life flows effortlessly when you are in alignment? When you stop forcing, when you stop doubting, things fall into place naturally. You meet the right people, opportunities arise, and everything seems to work in your favor. This is not luck. This is the result of being internally aligned with what you want. Your only task is to maintain that alignment. Stay still. Remain silent. Trust that the moment you shift within, the world is already in motion to reflect that shift. Do not seek, do not chase, do not beg. Simply be. Be the version of yourself that already has what you desire. Feel it, know it, embody it, and then let go. When you do this, you will witness the effortless unfolding of your reality. Circumstances will shift, people will change, and opportunities will appear, all without you having to force anything. The world is your mirror. The moment you change internally, everything must change to match. Everything you seek is already within you. The world is merely a reflection of your inner state, responding to the silent convictions you hold. There is no need to chase, force, or beg for what is already yours. The moment you shift internally, when you let go of desperation, trust in the unseen, and remain unwavering in your belief, the external world must align accordingly. Silence is your greatest strength. It shields your vision from doubt, protects your manifestations from interference, and allows the universe to work effortlessly on your behalf. True power lies not in words, but in the quiet knowing that what you desire is inevitable. Stay still, remain silent, trust in the process, and watch as everything falls perfectly into place.